Minecraft has always had the potential for an unsettling atmosphere, but I think this effect was most pronounced in older versions of the game.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description straight to his channel. Go watch him. He's good and he does some good videos. Yeah.
I'm in my beta world right now, and I'd be lying if I said there weren't a few times when I was just playing this game late at night, you know, playing for hours alone in the dark, and suddenly this game, which is normally just kind of happy and fun, just gets this weird, unsettling atmosphere. There's something off. For some reason, us humans, when we're alone, we start to feel like we're being watched, like there's something else with us out there somewhere. And you get this weird feeling of paranoia. And I don't know if it's the lighting in these versions or something just about the atmosphere, something about just the way it is. But I have to admit there is something kind of creepy about these versions, especially because they kind of feel maybe not abandoned, but sort of left behind. I mean, there's only a few people left to play these versions. Most people are obviously going to play the modern versions, which is understandable. So when you come back to these, it's a bit like visiting like an old, dilapidated building sometimes. Since it is close to Halloween time, I figured it would be fun to just kind of talk about weird, old, creepy stuff in early versions of the game. This is mostly just going to be a sort of sit around the campfire and talk video. I'll touch on, you know, the more well-known things like Herobrine, talk about those a bit, but I also want to talk about some things that maybe aren't as well-known. Not that they're secrets, but hopefully if you watch this video, you'll learn something you didn't know before. To start off with, might as well hit close to home. Like I said, I'm in my beta world right now. This isn't going to be a world update. Well, there'll be kind of like a mini one at the end, I guess, but I did want to come here to talk about things I've found in my own world that are kind of strange, and when I found them, they just sort of, they gave me that ominous feeling. I'm down here in this spider dungeon. I found this a little while back, and I actually talked about this briefly in another video, but I'll mention it again for those who haven't seen it. And this dungeon is mostly untouched. I did mine out the mossy cobble in the floor, but I didn't do this.
That's cool.
For some reason in the wall of this dungeon, there's like a perfect doorway or archway here that just leads to nothing. And I am 99% sure dungeons don't spawn like this. The openings to a dungeon is a cave. So when I looked over and, oh, it's actually raining, that's perfect. When I looked over, when I got down here and saw this just sort of ominous archway, that was kind of creepy. That was creepy. It feels like someone made this entryway and then sealed it off, and there's something bad behind there. I can just feel it in my bones. So that was the spider dungeon. That was one of the things that was kind of weird. I think that's the lesser of the two things. That one's not that weird. It just, to me, it felt kind of creepy. This next one I think is a little bit more crazy. It's just right in this area. I had lived here for a long time, but for some reason I just never walked over here. But if you do walk over here next to this weird hill, there's this. And this is just like a slit, like this dark, perfect tunnel going into the hill. And when you go into it, it is a perfect 2x2 tunnel in here. So this just, I don't know, this like made my heart sink when I first found this. There was very, like, logically I know this is just some weird terrain generation, maybe a weird like stunted cave.
Yeah,
But
probably will.
it is very odd and kind of creepy, and I don't like it because if you remember from like the old Herobrine lore, one of the things that he would put in your world is 2x2 tunnels,
Yeah,
and this is like a perfect 2x2 tunnel, which is very weird. And yeah,
they're usually like split apart as well, and they're very long. I don't think Herobrine would have done this. I think this is just a naturally weird terrain generation. That's what I think.
but those are the two things that I've found in my world personally. And when you see stuff like this, it's very easy to imagine how things like Herobrine came about. I mean, if you're just in this version, and you know, there's no villages, the world is very kind of lonely. The only structure that generates is a dungeon. And when you feel alone, and you know, the other things I talked about, the atmosphere, and all that stuff is kind of coming down on you, and that feeling of quiet and loneliness is really setting in. And then you find something like that. It honestly makes sense how all these sort of urban legends and weird creepypastas came about. And I'm actually curious. Let me know, did you guys believe in Herobrine as kids? Because I genuinely don't remember if I believed in Herobrine as a kid. I think I was kind of undecided. But part of me definitely wanted it to be real. For some reason.
Do I believe in Herobrine? No, I don't. No, I don't. No, no, because Minecraft just said removed Herobrine in the update things, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. Removed Herobrine, but they said that was just for a joke in the update files. Yeah, in a single player world, Herobrine doesn't really exist. Minecraft just tries to scare you with the update file saying removed Herobrine. He's not really real. And I think people are just getting too scared because I think that Herobrine's real. There is a mod pack called From the Fog, but that's a mod pack. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. Resume the video, please.
Just, there is something fascinating, and I think this is true for a lot of people.
But actually, generally, Herobrine isn't real except for if you put a mod pack in, though. Yeah.
Something just sort of fascinating about like creepy stuff and mysterious stuff. And that's exactly like the itch that Herobrine and all that sort of stuff scratched for me. I loved all that sort of stuff when I was a dumb kid. And part of that dumb kid is still, you know, living on inside of me, so I still kind of love it. I remember I used to, no, I only did this once actually. I made a world expressly for the purpose of finding Herobrine. Like I made this world and then set out to find Herobrine. And I set the fog all the way to the bottom, and I just wandered around. And what I did is I took screenshots, and then like I went back and reviewed the screenshots later. Like I thought, you know, Herobrine was gonna pop up in the corner of them, because that's what Herobrine always does, right? He's always just like in the corner of some screenshot, you know, like kind of blurry probably. And I remember I ended up getting so scared that I actually scared myself, and I started building like crucifixes around the world so that I could ward off Herobrine, and eventually I just deleted the world because I got so freaked out. But that's like perfect. That's such a kid, that's such a young Minecraft fan thing to do, is to like set out to find Herobrine, or try to like make a movie about Herobrine or something invading our world. But honestly, what I find even more interesting than Herobrine now is sort of what came before Herobrine. You have the White Eyes sort of urban legend, And if you didn't know, White Eyes is sort of this thing that inspired Herobrine. It was this thing that was getting passed around like the Minecraft forums and stuff early on about like, oh, I was caving and I saw these two white eyes staring at me from the darkness, that sort of thing. And that, of course, kind of turned into Herobrine.
I actually haven't heard of that one. Two pixels, two white pixels. It's weird. That would be creepy. That just playing in our Minecraft world. So far, you're taking a screenshot of someone like saying that you've got full diamond armor, and then like at the corner of your screen there's just this white eyes. Oh, that'd be freaky, dude.
And I guess eventually, because of course Herobrine, his main feature, he has white eyes. But what's really interesting to me about that is that it was kind of not well known. I mean, I didn't know about it until I think last year. A bunch of people kind of found it out and started collecting, like, sort of archiving information about White Eyes and the White Eyes urban legend. Herobrine was well known for a long, long time, but White Eyes kind of drifted into obscurity. And I'm not an expert on this White Eyes myth at all. I just kind of know about it. But before that, even before either of those sort of creepypasta urban legend things, there was the stuff that's actually in the game. And that interests me more because Herobrine is something that was kind of made by fans. But what's interesting to me is stuff like the cave sounds or Disc 13, because those are things that were deliberately put in the game, by the developers, by Notch, C418, whoever, which that's really interesting to me. First, because I think it might have been kind of an acknowledgement, even back then, that there was something, a potential for creepiness in this silly block game.
Yeah.
And also maybe it may have been a sort of just attempt to scare players. I don't know if Notch was just wanted to mess with players by adding that stuff in. What's really interesting about the cave sounds is when you think about it, I mean, okay, imagine you're going to make cave sounds for a game. What would you make naturally? Like, what would your mind go to first? Probably like water dripping, right? Or rocks or pebbles falling, something like that, right? Just like natural noises. But no, specifically for Minecraft, we have like hellish demon ghost noises. Like none of them are just like natural, like, oh, water dripping. They're all like really scary noises. And I kind of love that. Like I said, I loved creepy stuff, and I still love the cave noises. I love that they went in that direction of just scary instead of kind of just normal. But adding on to the cave sounds, we also have Disc 13 and 11. Disc 13 came first, and again, this was something before Herobrine. So people like to connect the two things, like the cave sounds and Disc 13. Even Disc 11, technically the file was added, I think, before the Herobrine myth. I'm actually not sure, though. Don't quote me on that. C418 actually has a little sort of page on his website about Minecraft Volume Alpha, the album. And there's a little excerpt on Disc 13, or I guess the song's just called 13, where he talks about how he imagined it would be played in a cave, like on a jukebox. And like the player would go into the cave and hear this creepy music, and then just find out it's just a jukebox playing creepy music. I thought that was kind of like a fun idea of just messing with the player, because that would be extremely scary. If you were just playing the game and you heard 13 playing in a cave, I would quit immediately.
I would leave.
But yeah, that was really interesting to kind of hear how he imagined it being used way back when it was added in the game. The really cool thing about Disc 13 and 11, especially 11, I think people like to theorize. They think there's some sort of story behind it. And a lot of the theories, I feel like, it's just like, it's kind of, most of the theories are just kind of a shot in the dark, I feel. I don't think they have very much to back them up. But interestingly, there is one theory.
Pumpkins don't. Oh, I suppose it is alpha or beta, so I suppose pumpkins might spot like that. But pumpkins don't really spawn like that anymore. They spawn without a face. Gotta like use a shear on them or something to carve them faces. I was wondering that, like, why did that pumpkin have a face? That's creepy.
Which I really like, and I think is probably actually correct. It's this theory that basically Disc 11 and Disc 13 go together. Like they sort of just fit together and make one continuous story, which is really interesting to me. I like this theory a lot because there's actually a gap in Disc 13. If you listen to it, there's sort of a stop in the music where there's just sort of silence for a little bit. And the theory goes that Disc 11 is placed in the middle of that gap. And then when Disc 11 ends, you play the rest of Disc 13 and it tells a sort of cohesive story. You may have heard this theory, and I'm gonna guess you've heard it from Game Theory because they did a video on this. But the really frustrating thing about that is they did not come up with this theory. This theory was made by a Reddit user. It was a Reddit post originally from a user named Dirt Piper, I believe. And it's this long, awesome Reddit post. He talks about everything basically that he got from listening to the two tracks. And I'll link that. I'll try to link everything I talk about in this video. But yeah, it's very interesting read. And it sucks because he is, as far as I know, he is the one who came up with that theory. And then probably most people, if they know it, will attribute it to Game Theory because they made a video on it, I think like 4 or 5 years later. So it's definitely like, Dirt Piper definitely came up with the theory. He did not steal it from Game Theory. Another thing I wanted to talk about is old Minecraft ARGs. Now these aren't actually like old videos, but they're based around usually older Minecraft versions. And there's quite a few of them. And overall, I find the concept really interesting. Some of them are kind of hit or miss. My problem that I tend to have is they're either too crazy, like it's just too in your face, like rah, or it's just nothing, like there's just nothing happens. Like someone just records some footage of an old Minecraft version, turns the fog up, and they say, ooh, spooky, but they didn't actually add anything to it. There's two in particular that I can remember off the top of my head, and that for me are really memorable and interesting. There's one called, I think it's called Minecraft Alpha something versions, and probably a lot of you already know about this one. It's basically the one where they have these kind of, they act like there's these sort of different versions that were put in the game during alpha, and only a select group of people were allowed to test them. And it's honestly a very interesting and unique concept. I really appreciate that. The videos have really, really good atmosphere and are kind of creepy, especially the earlier ones. My only problem with it is that it kind of gets a little too crazy, with sort of the versions getting a little too insane, and there's like portals and doors everywhere, and that's actually not a criticism of it. It's just that's the type of videos they're trying to make. To be honest, I didn't watch all of them. I kind of just watched the early ones. And from what I remember, I was a little disappointed just because I thought this was going to be something creepy. And it is kind of creepy and weird, but it's mostly just trying to be weird, like this story of this unknown version. And yeah, I appreciate it for what it is. But there's actually another channel that I like a lot, and I think it does that creepy old Minecraft ARG perfectly. It's called Old Minecraft Reuploads, and I just love this. I'm not going to talk about every video that they have. I will talk about two that I like the most.
Wait, I've heard of them. I think he's gonna explain it now. I'll let him talk.
I think the first one, if I remember correctly, it's the first one, where it's sort of this house tour. And the guy's going through this house, and it's just kind of quiet and, you know, not too much happening, just a normal old video.
I think this one he goes into a mine, he turns around the corner, and there's a pair of blue legs. I think that's the one.
And then suddenly in the middle of the video, there's just this moment where the screen cuts to black and the health bar has like one half a heart left. And it's just there for like a second and then it goes back. I think that's pretty simple. Some people might say that's like too cliche and simple. I actually really like it because it's really weird. And then my favorite part of this video is he's showing off sort of his basement or his mine or something.
Yeah.
And he starts walking down these stairs. And you start to hear what sounds like another player walking towards us from somewhere. And as he turns this corner, you just see a glimpse, just a very small glimpse of what looks like another player's skin, and then the video cuts out.
Yeah. 2 legs. See it?
I love that. I think that's and the video cuts out.
I'm guessing you saw it.
Now,
It was there, it was there, it was there. Saw a pair of legs.
I love that. I think that's perfect. That's so creepy. It's so, it's just enough. You know, it's not like over the top in your face, but it's also not too subtle. I really, really like that video. The other video from them that I love, it's called Minecraft Castle Construction. And there's some sort of crazy movie magic going on here. Maybe someone can explain it to me. I have no idea how they did this, but it's obviously very clever and very well done. In that video, the player sort of walks over to this cave, and they're looking down the cave, and then they pause their game, and presumably they go AFK. And while the game is paused and they're gone, the fog suddenly comes in. Like they were playing with higher fog, and then suddenly the fog gets shorter. And I have no idea how they did that. Because the fog doesn't change when the game is paused, obviously, but in this video it does, and it's really, really cool and very creepy. And then, as you're watching the screen, while the game is paused, we see what looks like another player or some sort of mob come out of this cave at the very bottom and just look up for a second and then go back into the cave.
Oh.
It's so good. I love it so much, and that's probably my favorite.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. It's right there. Right here. In between back to game, save and quit to title. Right there. Oh, that is freaky, dude. Yeah, I've seen that one. Seen another one as well. It goes down.
It's so good. I love it so much, and that's probably my favorite Minecraft ARG channel. I haven't seen too many of them, to be honest, but that's the one I saw, and I always remember it, and I really, really like it. So those videos are very cool. but I also wanted to talk about some actual old Minecraft videos. And there's one in particular, I don't think it's very famous, but it does have a few million views now. I think a lot of people have seen it. It's called Very Strange House in Minecraft That I Did Not Build. And for me, this video is like a nostalgia staple. It was one of the earliest videos I saw regarding Minecraft. And besides it just being kind of creepy and mysterious, and of course I loved that sort of thing, it sucked me in as a kid, it's also just something that I always remember. I always have memories of it from my early days playing the game, way back when. And basically, if you haven't seen it, it's this old video where this guy is in Alpha Minecraft, and he basically just says, "Hey guys, I traveled really far in my world and I found a house that I did not build."
Oh my
And it's really mysterious and weird. And your first thought might be, oh, well, it's just a hoax, right? Like he built the house on some chunk error that he thought would look
fuck, it's ugly. Oh my god, that is fucking creepy.
cool. But honestly, I am not so sure. I'm really not so sure. First of all, because if it is a hoax, he's a pretty convincing actor. Like, I've tried looking at the video and scanning for any giveaways that he did actually build the house, but I couldn't really find anything that really stood out to me. So if it is a hoax, it's very well done. Now, the other explanation for this video, besides Herobrine, I'm guessing it probably was not Herobrine, but the other explanation is that it's this old glitch in the game that was in the game at the time, where, well, there's different variations that I've heard, but one that I've heard, and I think possibly the uploader himself, Dead Skin Mask, said was the reason, or what he believed to be the reason, was this glitch would pull worlds, or pull like the save data from multiplayer worlds, and then accidentally put it into your single player world. Yeah, I'm not saying that's impossible, and look, I don't know how Minecraft world saving worked at that time, but I'm gonna guess that's not the answer because that doesn't sound right. That doesn't really even sound like something that's possible. As far as I understand, that's just not how like the world saving works. It's not gonna take something from multiplayer world and put it onto your world save. The other variation of this theory is a little more believable, I think, and it basically says that when you delete a single player world, it could have leftovers that weren't fully deleted, so to speak, and those could end up in the next world that you generate. And that seems a little more believable because worlds did have slots back then. So if you delete a world, you know, in slot 1 and then you make a new world in slot 1, maybe there's some data from the old world that was cached in slot 1 and then it gets put in your new world. I really don't know. But people actually say they experienced this. In the comments of that video, people say they experimented around in the version and they found this bug where old parts of their worlds would come into the new worlds, and that would seem to be conclusive. And I'm not saying it's not correct, but I'm gonna say I'm not completely convinced by this, just because I haven't really found any solid evidence of it besides just these YouTube comments. Really, the only thing I've heard about this glitch is kind of just hearsay in comments of various places. I can't find any documentation of it. Maybe someone else can, who's much smarter than me. That's not to say I believe it's a hoax. I'm really not sure what the answer is. I really don't know. Just because, you know, I don't have an answer doesn't mean it's a hoax. There could be another explanation. But that's kind of what I love about that video, and I honestly revisit it probably once a year. Both because the mystery intrigues me, but also because it's very, very nostalgic. But to sort of start wrapping up this discussion of creepy stuff in Minecraft, I'll talk about something a little bit more lighthearted. So that video I just talked about, Very Strange House I Did Not Build in Minecraft, that spawned like a whole subgenre of videos of people trying to sort of copycat that video. And to be honest, they're usually not very convincing, but I love them. I honestly love them. They're so funny and entertaining. There's this one that I love where it's like it's a kid making the video, and he's obviously doing that thing where like kids talk really low on the mic. I don't know if he's just shy or if he's trying not to wake up his parents, and it's wonderful.
I'll speak loud so that you can actually hear me. Like, yeah, we're gonna be reacting to some Minecraft videos today. Yeah, I don't do that. I speak like loud-ish. I'm not shy. Like, come on. There's no need to be shy.
How he talks about first he says, I think we may be getting hacked, and then he talks about how he and his friends were going to find Herobrine.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. This video here is gonna be more of like a kind of a creepy video because I don't know, but I think I may be being hacked. Just a minute ago, I was looking for Herobrine.
I love that because, again, like I said, that's such like a Minecraft
Oh, that's good. That's so amazing.
kid thing to do, is to go try to hunt for Herobrine. I love it. And then the rest of the video, the funny thing is he doesn't even go to the house that he's talking about. Like, he says, oh, this is mysterious castle appeared and I did not build this castle. But he doesn't even go there and like show it to us. He just shows it on like a map and then the video ends. It's kind of weird.
Maybe he's just scared. I don't know.
And then there's this other one that's very funny to me, where they're apparently like they saw something that they didn't build in the Nether. And first of all, the video starts with like a Windows Movie Maker intro. It's very, very that era, and I love it. And they say like, guys, don't worry, this video is not a screamer, I promise. And then in the video, it's like a slideshow, and they're like, all right, guys, I went in the Nether, and when I went in there, there was a weird thing I didn't build. And it's just a Nether fortress. I find that very, very funny, that the idea that the person just didn't know what a Nether fortress was, and then they made this whole video about like, guys, I found a Herobrine's house. I love it. I love it. There's a
How are people that dumb? No offense. Oh, I find that hilarious though. He didn't know what a Nether fortress was. This isn't even scary anymore, honestly.
another great one where the guy, like, it's another like, oh, I found a strange house I didn't build, but he starts the video and it's very clear that he just started the world in creative mode and then spawned in all the items and switched to survival. Because first of all of his items are like, his inventory is empty and all his items are new, and he says, oh, it's because I just died. But then you can see he hasn't even gotten the first achievements yet. Like, he just got the achievements as he started recording. And when he lays in the bed, you can clearly see that it says your game mode has been updated. So that's extremely funny to me. And then he follows like a trail of torches and finds a house in a ravine. It's not even a creepy house. It's just like a kind of nice little Minecraft house in a ravine for some reason. And what's also really great about these videos is the comment sections, because the comments are always like 50-50. Half of them are people like, this is so fake, you faked this. And then the other half is people like, guys, this video proves Herobrine is real. And it's very, very enjoyable to read through the comments. On that video I just talked about, there's this one comment where this guy goes like full detective mode. He lays out a whole list of like, all right, guys, here's why this video is totally fake. And to be fair, the reasons are, you know, pretty good, sensible reasons. And then I think like reason number 4 is a very weird reason. It's like, Herobrine would not place gray banners. Like, I don't know why that was his his sticking point for him. But yeah, this guy's apparently like an expert on Herobrines, and he knows that he would just not do that. He just definitely would not place a gray banner. You also get the comments, of course, saying like, this video proves Herobrine is real. Those are very fun as well. There is one comment though that it really just, when I saw it on this video, it kind of just shook me to my core. It sent a chill down my spine. I mean, it really did. And I'll read it for you right now. Okay. I have the same problem well. I was maneeing, and I see a ravine, and a house flouting in the air. But then the game crashed, and when I came back, I saw nothing. There. As if I wasn't supposed to see it. Bone chilling. Absolutely just shook me to my core.
What? Most of those words didn't even make sense. I wasn't supposed to. Oh my god.
But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about in this video. Interesting things relating to like creepy and weird urban legends and that sort of stuff in old Minecraft. I think Minecraft will probably always have this sort of thing. And honestly, you know, I kind of like some of it. Like I've said, it's kind of interesting. It interests the child in me. You can leave now if you want. Thanks so much for watching. The rest of this video, I'm going to talk about my world a little bit. Sort of a mini like pseudo update for those of you who have been waiting for it. Hope you're not too disappointed. But yeah, you may have noticed that while I was talking, I was just kind of walking around my world. That's because I was looking for pumpkins. I had really bad luck. I only found 2, which really sucks because I've been wanting to collect a bunch of pumpkins and make jack-o'-lanterns because I think that's such like a great quintessential like old Minecraft block. It's very just Minecrafty, the jack-o'-lantern. And of course it's near Halloween, so I wanted to get some. But I can't find any. I don't know why. I've been having such a hard time. I used to find just like bunches of them in the forest, but now I can't. So that kind of sucks. I'll have to go and look harder, I guess, next time. But yeah.
When was this video made? 20th of October. Oh, okay, that wasn't long ago.
So far, I haven't been doing that much. I'm kind of in like a Minecraft break right now. I kind of got burned out for a little bit, and I haven't made very much progress, so that's why there's not that much to report. I will come back, of course. These things happen. I take breaks from the game and then come back. But this is one building I've been working on. I really need to get like the courtyard done. I've really been wanting to finish that. And this building is sort of, you know, the half timbering style, and it has kind of attached this tower here. Now I really wanted this tower. I feel like the castle needed this because it was a bit lopsided. It's supposed to be kind of organic, you know, it's not supposed to be perfectly symmetrical, but I do feel this tower here just kind of gives it a better look, a better profile, I guess. Because before, I mean, if you imagine that tower gone, it was just this rising, and it's kind of lopsided over here. So I think that just gives it a better look. You can see from this side as well. Let me get a good look at it. It just makes it a bit more balanced overall. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. I think it was a good choice. So this building itself is going to be... I actually don't know what it's going to be. I'm not sure. I'm kind of just building it right now. Maybe it can be a mushroom farm. That's something I've considered. I'm not sure. But yeah, I really wanted to have this sort of arcade, this timber arcade right here that you can walk through, because I love arcades. I think they're so cool, and they just feel great to walk through. It's very medievally too. I think it looks very medievally. At first I wasn't sure how I liked the look of this, but I think I like it now that I've come back after a little break. The interior is totally unfinished, not even started really. I feel like this is going to be a very Ryan-esque build, because he always builds like these beautiful exteriors, and then you go inside and it's just a husk until he finishes the interior with dirt scaffolding all over. So that's what this is starting to look like, honestly. But yeah, I will definitely probably come back to Minecraft soon, start playing seriously again. I want to do a bit more with this Castletown area. And then for winter, around when Christmas time starts, I really want to start working on something in Swedish. I think I have a really good idea for something, and I have a lot of motivation to do that. So I really don't know. You know, I'll just play to have fun and see what happens. But hopefully something interesting will come out of it. And you guys will get another world update. All right, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later, and happy Halloween.
YouTube Pre.
Alright, that was good. Like said in the intro, I will put a link in the my god, I've been talking too much. I'll put a link in the description of his channel, and yeah, that's it. All credit goes to him. So hope you have a good day. See you in a bit.